I am happy of the opportunity which has presented itself for me to talk with you here today. Of course, I should have preferred to have been here in person with you fine people and in this always wonderful city, but that was impossible for a number of reasons. But only one of them is really important, and that is that we at headquarters are now deeply engrossed in the work preparatory to the opening of Congress and in the many plans necessary in connection with the presentation of our program to the national legislature. Now, the planning that you are doing here today has a vital bearing on the planning we are doing in connection with our legislative and administrative programs. Your plans have to do with membership, and let me emphasize that the stronger our organization, the more widespread our membership, the greater our likelihood of success in achieving the objectives which you and the other members of the National Federation of Federal Employees throughout the country have established through the National Convention. You in California have a truly remarkable opportunity for membership development. As you know, there are more federal employees in the state of California than in any other state in the Union. They are distributed in virtually all departments and agencies and throughout the state. There is in California, moreover, a tradition of outstanding NFFE activity. There is real organization strength in California, but I share with you the belief and the conviction that we have only skimmed the surface of our potential. Fine organization gains have been made, but with you, I am sure that immense further progress not only is possible, but essential. Locals throughout the state have shown what can be done by systematic, coordinated, and intensive campaigning for new members. These gains testify to the worth of careful planning, and most especially to effective follow-through. Much of the responsibility for this lies with you folks here today, who will be the key people in the membership campaign which you are now planning. Now, I know that you are developing a variety of membership campaign aids, literature, posters, and the like, in addition to the use you will make of a wide variety of material available through our national headquarters. All of these play a vital part in any membership campaign. But the essential ingredient in the final analysis is the use to which the material is put and the personal contacts which you and hundreds of others will make in the course of this campaign. We learn by experience, of course, and changing times bring changing methods. But I can say to you in all earnestness that our experience clearly shows that the most effective and indeed the indispensable way to gain new members for our organization is by the individual member convincing his fellow employee that membership in the National Federation of Federal Employees is a useful and a desirable thing. We live in an electronic age, and indeed it is an electronic miracle that enables me to speak with you here today. However, the genius of man has not yet invented an electronic member getter for organizations such as the National Federation of Federal Employees. There is no way that you or I can push a button and cause our fellow employees to consider the advisability of joining our organization, and then, upon consideration, to take that step. This is something which we, all of us working together, must do. Bear in mind also that an essential factor in the determination of any non-member to join is that non-member's confidence in you. Tens of thousands of members of our organization have joined and will continue to join because they know and trust the judgment of their fellow employees who, in turn, know and have faith in the integrity, the reputation, and the long, brilliant record of effective service of the National Federation of Federal Employees. It is your understanding of these facts, your interest and your enthusiasm in communicating them to others that will be the decisive factor. That, combined with an intensive effort, well planned and well coordinated, so that many hundreds of people throughout the state of California will be reaching out to their fellow employees in this concerted, intensive campaign within a given space of time. You know, we in the National Federation of Federal Employees have a wonderful commodity to sell to non-members. Let me take just a few minutes more of your time to outline some of the things which I believe you can well point out to your fellow employees during this campaign. There is, for example, the NFFE Program of Progress, adopted by the National Convention, a program which has a vital meaning for every federal employee. This was a program adopted by the democratic process of the convention and represents the best thinking of our whole organization with respect to what is good for the service and what will mean a more fruitful and rewarding career for the employees. There is nothing academic about this program. It is practical, it is vital. Let me point out also that all through the years, the NFFE has been able to get across an increasingly large number of its objectives. The program which we adopted at our 1956 National Convention, on the basis of the record, has an excellent chance of adoption as the months and years go by. And it will have a much better chance if we can build the kind of an organization membership-wise towards which this campaign is directed. Non-members should be told that legislative and administrative developments favorable to federal employees do not just happen. They must be caused to happen. And the NFFE, all through the years, has been one of the great causative factors. Then take another asset of our organization, one which I touched upon briefly a few minutes ago. I refer to the immense prestige and outstanding reputation of the National Federation of Federal Employees in all quarters. It is literally impossible to overestimate the importance of that element in relationship to the achievement of our objectives. We have the confidence, we have the esteem, we have the goodwill of the Congress, of key officials throughout the departments and agencies, and of the press and the public. Again, this is not a matter of happenstance. We have this reputation because we have earned it in the past, and we continue to merit it by our actions from day to day and week to week. Now, what are some other assets that the non-member buys when he becomes a member of the National Federation of Federal Employees? Consider for a moment in this connection the whole range of services rendered by the national headquarters of the NFFE in the fields of legislation, administration, public relations, adjustment of individual and group problems, the accurate and timely information contained in the Federal Employee Magazine, the Federal News Bulletin, and the unique new NFFE-gram. Moreover, there is the NFFE Truth Campaign and our whole continuing program of press and public relations, through which the facts about federal employees, their duties, responsibilities, and conditions of employment constantly are kept before the public, and untruths and misrepresentations are promptly and effectively corrected. This campaign has been described by disinterested outside authorities as the most effective ever conducted in this field, and it is of vital importance to all federal employees and to the service as a whole. And may I emphasize also the great asset we of the National Federation of Federal Employees have in our national headquarters staff. We who are engaged in the task of improving personnel administration in the federal service can especially appreciate the fact that it requires good people, well-trained people, experienced people, to translate goals and objectives into action and to carry on effectively a service organization such as ours. We have such a trained staff, seasoned by years of experience in all of the many specialized phases of our organization's activities, and imbued with the kind of self-sacrificing approach which the nature of the work rendered so essential. We know and understand what this means in human terms, of course. We must also not overlook our staff competence as another unique asset in selling our organization to non-members. In addition to all this, the federal employee who joins the National Federation of Federal Employees secures the advantages of the many valuable local activities which cover, as you know, a very broad range. And we certainly must not overlook the many lasting friendships and fine associations which result when people work together in harmony and goodwill and for a mutual cause in the National Federation of Federal Employees. All of us in the National Federation of Federal Employees can go out and sell our organization secure in the knowledge that we are doing our fellow employees the greatest possible favor in enrolling them in our ranks. It is impossible, of course, to measure the worth of an organization such as ours in dollars and cents alone. But if it were to be put on that basis, we might well say that membership in the National Federation of Federal Employees represents the biggest dollar value of any commodity that any federal employee can buy at any time. Thus, you can enroll your fellow employees in the National Federation of Federal Employees knowing that you are rendering them a genuine service that they will be joining an organization in which they can take real pride and which will return to them dividends 100-fold. Knowing your interest in and enthusiasm for the National Federation of Federal Employees, I have every confidence that the statewide campaign which you are now planning will be an immense success. I want to add just one more word, and that is this. There is no more important work than the one upon which you are now engaged, namely building a stronger NFFE. It is a service to yourself, to your fellow employees, to the federal government, and to the people of the United States. I wish you Godspeed in your fine endeavors.